Welcome, boys. Yes, that's right. I trained only upper body for at least 5 years. Let me explain. So growing up, I was a super skinny kid. I was tall, lanky, and wider than Charlie Sheen's mustache. But I was most self-conscious about my skinny legs of all the parts of my body. Every day at school, I'd be bullied for how skinny my legs were. So one of the most traumatizing moments of my entire childhood was when I had to play a football match in front of a live audience of 40,000 people. That's a lot of people. And we were forced to wear these incredibly short shorts. I spent the entire match full of anxiety, trying to hide my tiny little chicken legs behind all the other players' big juicy steaks that they had. Now it's about 20 years later, and still to this day, I use my tiny little chicken drumsticks to support my much bigger upper body. And in fact, for about 5 years of my life, I didn't do any weighted squats, no leg press, no deadlift or anything like that. Now around that same time, all I was doing was upper body exercises. I was doing calisthenics, lots of pull-ups, push-ups, core work, really anything that involved my upper body predominantly. Now I can already hear all the Giga Chads in the comments being like, you're a weak little biscuit. You shouldn't be offering fitness advice to the online community if you skip leg day. I mean, come on bro, real men don't skip leg day. And I get it, all right? I hear you boys, and I agree. If you wanted a well-rounded physique, then you have to do leg day. It's extremely important, and I would advise it. The only problem is, boys, I wanted skinny legs. Now don't get me wrong, there was a huge period of time where I wanted big juicy steaks for legs because of my insecurities about how scrawny they were. And I was hitting leg day every day. In fact, when I was around 18 or 19, I was trying to squat like 140 kilos, which was way beyond what I needed to do. And in fact, I gave myself a hernia and I had 2 weeks bedridden because my back was incredibly stuffed. I was about 1 squat away from slipping a disc. Not the greatest or smartest moment of my life. But during this time, I wanted massive legs. In fact, I was trying to do what I call a reverse wedding dress, where instead of trying to slim down and fit in your wedding dress, I was buying pants bigger than I needed just so I would have motivation to one day fill out those pants with my big juicy quads, right? The only problem is it didn't really work like that, and I ended up just walking around looking like some sort of virgin drug dealer. Now, I'll be honest, I'm naturally skinny. I'm naturally really lean, and I've always struggled to put on size on my legs. So when I see someone like Joe Fazer, who's also extremely skinny when he grew up, he's done a phenomenal job of putting on size on his legs. And I just can't imagine how much work and dedication it would take to actually reach that goal. Now, I'll be serious. I feel like there are periods of my life where I felt extremely happy with the size of my legs. You know, it's been in proportion to my upper body. The only problem is it's taken like 12 to 16 months of just absolutely grinding on the squat machine just to reach that level. And if I stop working out, within a matter of like 2 months, they absolutely shrink. It sucks. Yes, boohoo, poor me. But it's kind of like the reverse of a fat kid trying to lose weight. It's not necessarily all the hard work to get there, which is the worst thing. It's more the maintaining once you've reached the goal, which is always the hardest thing for people, including myself. And this is extremely obvious in all bodybuilding, because really the whole thing with bodybuilding is that you're super motivated to finally reach that goal. You've got this goal in mind, and it's the journey leading to that goal which keeps you extremely motivated during that period of time. But as soon as you reach that goal, that's when you're like, damn, what do I do now? You kind of have to set a new goal, otherwise your motivation just completely dives. Because you either shift your goalpost to a more and more extreme one, which just gets into kind of dangerous territory because you're always chasing an unachievable goal, or you have to switch your motivation and find some other form of motivation. And for 5 years of my life, I pivoted to a different form of motivation. So from the years of 2016 all the way to 2021, I shifted from being in the gym and lifting weights every single day to all of a sudden rocking up in a Ninja Warrior gym and trying to be the best Ninja Warrior athlete I could be in the entire world, which meant that my priority for fitness changed from looking great to performing great. And this was great because it was an entire new form of motivation for me, and it's lasted me all the way from 2016 to literally to today, right? It's kept me in the gym every single day because of it. And I guess it's kind of changed my mentality, you know, from just lifting weights to get strong, to lift more weights to get strong, and that kind of repetitive cycle, to all of a sudden, I just looked at the best ninja athletes in the entire world and I said to myself, I just have to do whatever they're doing to try and be better than them. and I just did whatever was necessary. And for Ninja Warrior, the less you weigh, the longer you can hang on obstacles, right? So to have massive legs was actually quite a disadvantage. And we didn't have to squat anything heavy or lift anything massive, so for literally a 5-year period, I did zero weightlifting at all. And naturally, my legs got skinnier. In fact, they got a lot skinnier. However, for the first time in my life, it actually didn't really bother me because it was quite practical for my goals within Ninja Warrior. And it was like the first time in my life where I actually kind of felt proud to have just naturally skinny legs. That's just how my legs were. And it sounds silly, I understand, but all of that stuff that had caused me so much trauma throughout my childhood of getting bullied every single day had now actually become a bit of a blessing within my Ninja Warrior career. I never really specifically trained legs. It was all just kind of a side effect from my Ninja Warrior training. It just turned from weights to more body weight. I did a lot more explosive training, like running up warped walls. I did agility training, balance training, mobility. Just for reference, I had a vertical jump of 27 inches or 70 centimeters. I had a 100-meter sprint time of 12.2 seconds, which I think is very fast. And I could actually do the splits. And I could do all of this while I had just naturally skinny legs. While my legs didn't look impressive, they were literally more useful than they had ever been in my entire life before. And more importantly, they were useful for my specific needs. Because I don't think that real men shouldn't skip leg day. I think real men should do whatever the hell they want with their own bodies as long as it aligns with their goals and it's making them happy. I mean, just ask my friend Matt, who has some lean legs. However, I guarantee you boys, he will out squat 95% of you in the comments, which are telling him every single day, yo bro, stop skipping leg day. And if you found some value from this video, I would really appreciate it if you hit like. YouTube seems to think that you'll like these videos, so go and check them out, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.